For much of galactic history, humanity existed outside the endless rhythm of conquest and retaliation. While countless civilizations rose by fire and dominance, humans chose a quieter path. They built schools instead of fortresses, libraries instead of armories, and bridges between cultures where others saw only borders. Their starships carried musicians and scholars rather than soldiers. Human envoys traveled with poetry, artwork, and music, convinced that beauty and understanding could calm the universe's darkest instincts. Against all expectations, it often worked. Over time, humanity became known as the mediators of the stars, patient, sincere, and disarmingly compassionate. Many species admired them. Some exploited their kindness. A few mocked them. But nearly everyone agreed on one thing: humans were harmless. Ambassador Mara Calder represented that belief perfectly. Small in stature, warm-eyed, and fluent in 9 alien languages, she ended conflicts not with threats or fleets, but with empathy. She organized cultural exchanges, helped establish libraries filled with stories from dozens of worlds, and believed, without hesitation, that compassion could bridge any divide. That belief shattered on Green Reach. Green Reach was a peaceful agricultural colony beneath a copper-hued sky. Home to just over 2 million farmers, teachers, and families, it had no defenses and never believed it needed any. Its greatest treasure was its grand library, a project Mara herself had helped create. She was inside those halls when the ground began to tremble. Outside, Var warships darkened the sky like a storm of steel. Communications failed instantly. No distress calls escaped. Help would never arrive. The massacre lasted 4 hours. Var soldiers executed farmers in their fields, children in classrooms, families inside their homes. There were no prisoners. No mercy. Mara gathered the remaining survivors inside the library's archives, offering reassurance she no longer truly believed. When the Var breached the final doors, Mara made her choice. She did not fight. She did not beg. She walked into the burning hall, lifted a scorched book of human poetry, and began to read aloud. Flames surrounded her as she recited the words calmly, as if time itself had slowed in respect. When she finished the final verse, she looked up without fear and smiled, not at her killers, but at the ideals she refused to surrender. They executed her. Then they executed everyone hiding behind her. And when they left, they ensured their cameras kept recording. 6 hours later, humanity watched the footage. 8 billion people saw the burning library. They saw Mara Calder's final smile. They saw Green Reach erased. The reaction was not rage. It was silence. No speeches were made. No protests erupted. For the first time in 3 centuries, humanity had nothing to say. The galaxy misread that stillness as surrender. In the stellar accord chambers, the Var envoy mocked humanity openly, calling them broken, fragile, humiliated. Other species watched, uneasy but unconcerned. Along the human frontier, however, quiet changes began. Ancient shipyards powered up for the first time in centuries. Vaults sealed since humanity's age of harmony unlocked. Veterans long retired were summoned to private meetings. Humanity was remembering something it had buried. Deep beneath Earth's crust, Admiral Elias Ward walked corridors untouched for generations. His life's work had been dismantling weapons, converting warships into research vessels, preaching peace as humanity's highest calling. Now he passed containers labeled with words that chilled him: planet fracture devices, stellar manipulation engines, technologies built when humans feared nothing, not even themselves. At the heart of the complex, the ancient archive requested authorization. Do you approve deployment of restricted assets? Warning: activation carries a high probability of species-level annihilation. Ward closed his eyes. He saw Mara reading her final poem. He saw Green Reach burning. Not yet, he whispered. Readiness only. The vaults opened, releasing cold air and darker memories. 3 days later, Ward addressed the Terran assembly. He showed them the footage, Mara's death, the ruined colony. Then he revealed the weapons humanity had once created, capable of bending physics and collapsing empires. For 300 years, he said, we chose restraint. We believed compassion alone could shape the galaxy. We were wrong. The vote to unseal the archives passed unanimously. Human space erupted into motion. Shipyards roared. Engineers studied schematics older than modern nations. Fleets dormant for centuries awakened as if stirred by instinct. The galaxy watched with unease. The Var watched with amusement. They believed humans had grown too gentle to remember war. That belief would die soon. The first Var fleet entered the Silent Reach, 94 warships, confident and unchallenged. They vanished. No debris. No signals. Nothing. A second fleet followed, pushing farther. Long enough to record movement, dark shapes moving faster than sensors could track. Weapons that twisted space itself. Their surrender attempts went unanswered. Humanity erased them with surgical precision. When VAR Command reviewed the recordings, understanding finally dawned. Humanity had not rebuilt its military. It had awakened it. Across VAR-controlled space, human vessels appeared without warning. Outposts went dark. Supply lines collapsed. Entire systems fell silent. There were no invasions, no planetary landings, only flawless dismantling. The Var Imperium, undefeated for 5,000 years, began to unravel. Terrified delegates demanded answers. Envoy Lyra of the Vash Union met Admiral Hale, a man she once knew as gentle, fond of symphonies. Now his eyes were cold as shattered glass. You're erasing them, she whispered. This isn't war. Hale nodded. You cannot negotiate with a predator. You remove the threat entirely. When she asked what stopped humanity from doing this to everyone else, he answered without hesitation. Only our choice. She understood then. Humanity's peace had never come from weakness, only restraint. As the Var collapsed inward, their leaders fled to their core world, protected by 17 fortified rings and 3,000 warships. They believed their defenses were absolute. They were wrong. 17,000 human vessels emerged. Ring after ring fell within hours. When only the final barrier remained, the humans stopped. Fleet Marshal Ward appeared on transmission, grief etched into his face. I need you to understand what comes next, he said. The Var commander boasted their planet would endure. Ward shook his head. We're not attacking your world. Then he told them to watch their star. Massive human constructs drifted nearby, machines not designed for battle, but for something far worse. We can unmake your sun, Ward said quietly. We won't. The array activated. Across the Var home system, daylight dimmed. Heat faded. Their star faltered, wounded, not destroyed. The planet survived, barely. Their empire did not. This is not revenge, Ward said. This is consequence. You taught the galaxy that compassion equals weakness. We will teach it that attacking humanity leads to extinction. The transmission ended. The human fleet vanished, leaving the Var to shiver beneath a crippled sun. 17 civilizations immediately sent messages, no threats, no negotiations. Only respect, and fear. The galaxy had learned the price of waking humanity's forgotten nature. 50 years passed. The Var home world endured endless dusk. Humanity rebuilt its libraries, reopened universities, resumed cultural exchanges, but never again lowered its guard. Every ship carried weapons. Every research station had defenses. Humans remained gentle. But the shadow of what they could become lingered behind every smile. At the rebuilt Green Reach archive, Mara Calder's scorched poetry book rested in a glass case beside her final words. We choose compassion. Never forget it is a choice. Children wandered the halls, laughing and reading alien stories, watched over by guardians who carried the power to crack worlds if ever required. Across the galaxy, every diplomat learned the same truth. Humans are extraordinary allies, warm, brilliant creators of beauty. But never force them to remember what they once were. You will not survive what they become. And the galaxy never forgot the lesson. Compassion remained humanity's gift to the stars. Now everyone understood the strength required to protect it.